Alright, how's it going, guys? I hope you're having a good day so far. Today is Tuesday, January 7th of 2020, 10:12 a.m. and Bitcoin is trading at $7,825. So today in this video, I'm just going to go over kind of the levels that I have, kind of go over any trade setups that I'm looking to take, and overall just give you my plan for the week. One thing I want to say here at the beginning of the video, Quant Fiction and I are launching our new company today called Market Science. You can find the Twitter page in my bio, or it's just Markets with the S and then Science. And yeah, we'll be launching that later today, so make sure to be looking out for that. So let's go ahead and hop into Bitcoin here. Looking at the monthly time frame, I still have this key range marked out with the top of this candle and the bottom of this candle here. Just to go back over it real quick, once we closed above the top of this candle, we retested as support again here and here. On this candle, we closed below it, then kind of came down and front run to that low here. And then on the next candle, we pushed up into the range high, came down to test the range low and took out this candle. And so far here off the monthly open, we're 7 days into the new year. So this monthly open is also the yearly open. So 71.63, a key level. Make sure to have that marked out on your chart. Temporarily here we are above the key monthly range here. We have not closed above it yet, so on a monthly time frame. So a little too early to tell if this is an actual breakout of this or if we're just taking out some of the highs. You can see that we have taken out the previous month's high so far, which is a big deal considering once we set this high, right? We have a lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, another lower high, another lower high, right? And then so this candle is the first one that took out the previous candle's high. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lower highs now broken. So I think it'd be pretty interesting. We're gonna have to wait for some higher time frame closes, maybe like a weekly, before really deciding on this breakout here. If we do break out and close above the monthly level at 7727, the next monthly resistance level is here at 8300. It is the bottom of this candle here, basically the up move before this down move that broke market structure or broke the lows here. So that is the next key level that is above price. And the key levels on the monthly time frame that are below price are pretty much just the monthly open and this monthly kind of range low down here. I think that's it on the well, actually, I want to point out that we have set a bottom wick here on the monthly time frame so far, which is good if you want to see upside. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the monthly or the weekly real quick. So you can see we have a tight range here on the weekly. I think the only weekly candle or the weekly levels that I have marked out are the weekly open here and this weekly level here at 69.02. That level is the lowest close of this consolidation range. You can see price came down, closed, pushed off the open, and then ended up coming back down to take out the low. And we just kind of ranged. This candle also set the range high here. So pretty much on like a lower time frame like daily or below, this candle pretty much set the weekly range here. You see that it has the low and the top or the high. We consolidated inside of it. This candle took out the low, closes the SFP. We range for 2 weeks, and so far we have pushed up off the open pretty strong here. I think that's about 9%. We got up to 9% above the weekly open. Right now we're sitting at about 6.6% above the open, which is pretty strong move so far considering it's only Tuesday. With that being said though, we have taken out the range high here. You can see once we took out the range low, we consolidated, then went higher. Now we've taken out the range high. That's what this white little level here is. So if we close as the SFP, we might get some more downside to pull back and maybe retest some of these higher time frame opens. But if we get a weekly close above the monthly level, I think that should be enough confirmation that we are going to push up to like 8,300 or higher. I would not get too overexcited because, while we may be bullish right now, you gotta, you know, kind of keep this in mind. I think it'll be better on a daily time frame. Yeah, something like this. So you can see that's kind of a rough drawing here, but I use this kind of the highest close up here, lined it up with this high close here. You can see pushed up into it, used it as resistance, briefly broke above it and came back down. See, used as resistance throughout here. We weren't able to close above it. Yesterday tapped that trend line, closed below the trend line. Today we have pushed up above it. So this is a pretty pivotal level here. I think if we were to close above, you know, this range high and the trend line, yeah, we might be coming up here. I'm gonna go back to the weekly time frame real quick just to make sure I covered everything. Something I want to say is, considering we have consolidated here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles so far, so 6 weeks, a breakout, excuse me, a breakout above or below the range could be pretty strong. You know, the longer we consolidate, the better chance that a breakout with a strong high time frame close outside of the range, you know, the higher probability that that will actually be a break. So I think that's it on the weekly time frame. Be watching for the range high to get, you know, basically close to the SFP. Here's the daily here. I'm going to go ahead and delete this trend line for now because it's kind of messy. But you can see yesterday, technically we did close above, you know, that monthly level at 7727. We closed above it here as well, but that didn't do too much. We had no follow through. And let me see, did we close above this high, or above the highest close here? Okay, so technically we did close above it by a few dollars. Let's see, the close was 56 and that level is 49, so yeah, $7. So not a big enough close or a strong enough move to really say we closed above it. I mean, technically yes, but that's kind of too close for me to call, so I would just say we pretty much closed right at it. So we will see how this candle closes today. I think it'll be a pretty important candle because, yeah, I mean, if it closes the SFP of the range high, I definitely think we're in for some downside. Back here, probably, let's see, let's line up some levels. So this is a pretty clean level here. You know, multiple tests. I think this was the monthly open of, yeah, this was December's monthly open. So you can see it was a super key level here, because we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attempts at breaking it where we wicked above it, but we weren't unable to close above it. So that's a key level here. I'm just going to put that as the daily because it's clear to see on the daily time frame, even though that is a previous monthly open. So like I said, SFP the high, I'd be looking at this daily level at 7,550. If price pushes below it but closes back above it up here on the daily, then we might be in for some more upside up to 7,100. If we, you know, if we SFP the high, come back down here and close below this level, then I'd be looking at the weekly open and the monthly open. Sorry if you hear some weird background noise. That's my fan. I don't know why it's being loud right now. But yeah, guys, I think that is pretty much it on the higher time frames. Looking at H4 here, you can see this is where I got that supply zone. You can see we barely front runned it and missed it here. Basically, just the breakdown, consolidation, and then breakdown before the huge, you know, this was a pretty big move here. So this supply zone, in my opinion, should stop price if we push into it. So something else that you could look out for here on the H4 is right now we're holding above the monthly level, and I'm going to delete that. Above the monthly level. If we consolidate here and form a range, you might watch out for kind of like consolidation here, a wick up to take out the range high, you know, this recent range into that supply zone. If it closes the SFP of that, then you could short that, in my opinion, because this is not a very sustainable run up here. You can see, you know, kind of moves like this where we have That's a really bad circle, but you get the point, hopefully. Like, impulse moves, consolidation, impulse move, consolidation, more impulse moves where you don't really set any lows, or you don't come down here and fill in any of the space. You basically just keep going up. I think those are pretty unsustainable, and you can see that happen here. So, you know, if we do get this little range, take out the high into the supply zone, I think that's a good short, at least back down to here, or the weekly open. Other than that, if we use this level as resistance and start breaking down, I wouldn't short it yet. Wait for that daily close, maybe as a SFP, and then you could short, or I'd be waiting to buy pullback somewhere between this level and the weekly open. You can see we did have this kind of trend line here that flipped, which is a nice move. I was bearish here because we were setting lower highs, and it looked like we were going to fill in this gap, but we broke it, so that kind of flipped my bias bullish. I didn't really trade much of this because I've been kind of away from the markets. I have not been trading actively in the past 2 weeks or so, but yeah, I'm looking to get back into it now, starting this week. So just to recap here, because I know I've been kind of rambling on. Watch for a daily SFP. If we don't get it, we may move up into 70 or 8100 supply zone. If we do get it, then I would be expecting more downside, back down to 7500 or the weekly open at 7350. I would probably want to get long down here if you get a proper entry trigger. And then kind of, you know, on lower time frames, if we consolidate here, break back above this like SFP level, I'd be looking at 8100 to take out this little range high here into the supply zone. Then you can short that. If we break down, looking to get long down here. You know, like I said, if we've been consolidating for what, 6 weeks in this range, a breakout is likely to move farther than you expect if we get those clean, you know, high time frame closes beyond the range. So I'm looking to get long down here and then eventually looking for more upside, but I wouldn't get too excited until we see how the daily and eventually the weekly closes, because if the weekly closes below this monthly level at 7727, then I think we could just continue ranging. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And yeah, make sure to be on the lookout for Market Science launch today, and I hope you guys yeah, will enjoy that. So I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Thanks.